Hello again, Honky Tonks. Welcome and thank you for joining me as I walk somewhere in deepest, darkest Buckinghamshire. You know, as a person who grew up in poverty in North Wales, I never ever thought I'd live the life I have and end up living here. But there we go, life is funny. Now, people ask me, why do you keep making these walkie videos? I like doing them, that's why. It brings me great joy. It's cathartic, I've said that. And I want you guys to feel like you know me. Here's my face, you know who I am. This is unscripted. This is how my channel has evolved. It started with scripts. I'd write little notes, read them off, edit, and that's it. But now, nothing. See, not a note, nothing on my hands. No notes scribbled anywhere. And here we are. I just speak, you guys listen. If you like, you subscribe, and you like, and you help me out. And we help each other out, because as a staunch campaigner, I wouldn't say campaigner, more like supporter of free speech, you are allowed to say what you want in the comment section. It's not me deleting comments, that'll be the YouTube algorithm. It's a funny beast, that one. And so we come to the subject matter, which is Reform UK. It's no secret, folks. Regular viewers of my channel will know I've had my suspicions about the party, but more with Richard Tice. You see, Richard Tice, he says conservative, patriotic, right-wing stuff, but he does lefty things. It doesn't add up. He was a believer in the jab. He believed in the lockdowns. What else did he believe in? He hailed Zelensky as a hero. Said we should be spending billions of taxpayers' cash on him and his wife, so she can go on expensive shopping sprees in Europe. And he recently did that infamous convoy to Ukraine, where he drove supplies to the Ukrainian army. Now, none of these things resonate with the core Reform voters. We are skeptics of the jab. We don't think we should be sending billions of pounds of taxpayers' cash to Zelensky, and his stunt driving over there with medical supplies, it just didn't sit well with us. Now, I mean, this is a weird one for me. It really is a weird one, because this information I have comes from the most reliable source, someone I trust implicitly with information. And a video came out a few days ago of a candidate for Reform who, I can't remember where the hell he's standing, but his name is Stephen Chilcott. Stephen Chilcott. And it turns out the guy is a mole for hope, not hate. And he blabbed to them about Tommy Robinson. Now, whether Richard Tice knows about this fella or not, I don't know, but there are question marks simply because of Richard Tice's behaviour. Richard Tice approved of Simon Danczuk. Was it Danczuk? Yeah, Simon Danczuk, a former Labour man, for standing in the Rochdale by-election. Simon Danczuk was chucked out of Labour for sending illicit text messages to a 17-year-old. So yeah, he's a wrong one. And then he, of course, reported Katie Hopkins to the police for raising questions about the Rochdale grooming gangs. Now, is that the kind of person you want running for Reform? It's a very lefty thing to do, isn't it? And the same for Stephen Chilcott. Again, I have it reliably passed on to me that the Stephen Chilcott's moved up from the south coast to London because there wasn't enough diversity at the south coast. He wanted more diversity. Does that sound like the average Reform voter to you? No. And so I think I can be forgiven for coming to the conclusion that reform has been infiltrated and compromised. I'm not the party to vote for, really. Of course, you guys can make your mind up. You can say, well, what's the alternative? There is no alternative here in the UK. Well, there is. There are smaller right-wing parties, but they won't work together. They hate each other. And that's the thing. The one thing I give the lefties credit for, all these organisations, Hope Not Hate, Black Lives Matter, Momentum, Labour, Lib Dems, the SNP, extreme left-wing movements and ideologies, they stick together. I'll give them that. I take my hat off. And that's why you're all such a threat, because you stick together. The only way to divide them is for them to divide themselves. Look at Graham Linehan, J.K. Rowling and others who have been red-pilled simply because they didn't go against the grain, simply because they went against the grain. My apologies. And as for Hope Not Hate, if you don't know who they are a very dangerous organisation. They ruin lives. I believe they're also government funded. The taxpayer gives these people money to smear people and ruin lives simply because they have the wrong opinions. They have like a top 50 list that they publish every year of people they consider to be far-right, Nazi, racist, fascists, every other trope you can think of, simply because they have the wrong opinions. There are one or two in that list who are indeed dangerous individuals. We're talking wannabe Nazis here. The people who give right-wingers like me, conservative people, patriots, a bad name. Idiots who have a fixation with Nazism yet don't really understand it properly. If these people ever come across a real Nazi from World War II, they'd shit themselves. They really would. And that's where we are. And that's why I'm not voting for reform. I am politically homeless. And I don't know who to turn to. Like I said before in the previous video, I can't stand myself for election because I'll be an independent, and independents have no clout. I know for a fact the things I would be putting forward as policy or laws to be made will not be backed by Conservative and Labour. Labour would fight against it and the Tories would throw me under the bus. The same as Jacob Rees-Mogg threw us all under the bus when he had that Islamic imam on his GB News show the other night. That guy lied through his teeth and this went unchallenged by Jacob Rees-Mogg. I was there on Remembrance Day at the Cenotaph. I was there with the Reverend Simon Sideways. Calvin Robinson was stood right in front of us during the 2-minute silence. I spoke to him. And this imam says that Tommy Robinson supporters, right-wingers, the far right, so-called far right, they threw petrol bombs and half of us were arrested. I showed you a video, it's on my channel. Nothing of the sort happened. There were a few people who got a bit rowdy but were quickly shut down by us decent sort. There was no need for that. And they quickly shut up. Oh, Russ was there as well, absolutely average. He's got a YouTube channel. A guy with PTSD, excuse me, currently being victimised by someone who purports to be a spokesperson for mental health, PTSD, and he's not. If anything, he is fucking mental. My mate Penny Bunny did a video on him, a little expose on her channel, The Curious Bunny. Go and have a look. Anyway, reform is infiltrated, it's been compromised. It doesn't deserve my vote because I don't trust them. And it needs to be, reform needs to be reformed root and stem if it's to make any headway, in my belief. This guy, Stephen Chilcott, he rang one of the heads of Hope Not Hate and told him that Tommy Robinson was a drug dealer. Tommy Robinson rings him up. This is on another video on YouTube. I can't remember the channel. That's what happens when you're unscripted. And I've got a memory unlike an elephant. And he confronted him, and yeah, he did. He admitted it, amongst other things. So if this Reform Party candidate, lefty, is in the pocket of hope not hate, who else is? You don't know, do you? This is all cloak and dagger stuff. This is like something else of Game of Thrones. Or the game show Traitors, which I'm hooked on at the moment. Me and Mrs. 49, we can't get enough. Ooh, a bit windy here. But I'm scared of wind, because I'm right wing, aren't I? I'm not scared of anything. But you can't hear me. Right, I'm done. Take what I've said on board. Look into things. Don't just take my word for it, look into it. I have my sources. And if you're one of these left idiots that says source on my channel, then bloody grow up. Can't you just do a simple internet Google search yourselves? Hey, what's wrong with you? Idiots. Right, I've rambled on enough. Thanks for walking with me. I'm Past 49. And until the next time, Roger Trout.